Today's video, I will talk about the number one principle that actually made me detached from all of my guilt, shame, and fear to be authentic in front of people. If you have been suffering and hiding and feeling anxious, nervous about to admit something that you have probably experienced in past, probably that's your past decision or trauma, or just a belief of yours, just how your mindset is. This principle will make you understand why you shouldn't be fearful, why you shouldn't be ashamed of yourself, and how you can be authentic, truthful in front of everybody without any hesitation. Stay till the end, where I am going to reveal the technique you could just adopt right now to be set yourself free from all of those feelings, all of those emotions that was holding you back to be yourself. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. This is Dilruba Chowdhury, and I would like you to subscribe to know more about reality principles. So, first of all, we attach ourselves to our personality, who we are, and how we represent ourselves in front of people. And in our judgment, in our thought, whatever doesn't fit into the society's standard, into the society's good and bad judgments, and into the surroundings rules, that made us a rule breaker, or that makes us feel unworthy or not meeting the standards. And then we want to try to hide that inside of us, and we want to project something that more appreciated, more projected like a good choice, more projected as a loving things, or as a good things for the whole society, for whole people we are actually living with, right? And that was making us to sit back and hold us back to be authentic. For say you have a habit of being a night owl, right? You can't even sleep before 3 in the morning, right? And you feel like that's a bad behavior, and I shouldn't behave like that. I shouldn't even tell people that I was awake till last 3 a.m. in the morning, right? And you try and you just feel like that I just don't fit the standards of the society. That's normal people does, right? Normal people. And then you don't talk about it. And whenever it comes up in your conversation, you just wanted to skip that conversation, or you just bypass that topic, or you just detour those conversation to another topic so that your feelings or you're attached with that behavior doesn't get revealed. Otherwise, you fear that you could be judged, you would be humiliated, or just make fun of, right? So that's just a simple example, but there are many severe things are going inside of us that we feel regularly guilt, ashamed, belittled, and not the projected personality we want to have people in their mind that we actually possess, right? So let's see when it happens, or if it happens, why shouldn't we be ashamed of our any habits, personality, any behavior, or any mindset even? Okay, so here is a simple doodle I made for you. Let's see. Okay. So, all right. Let's see who we are. Who we are as a human being right now. Okay. If we know that there is a source, the source energy, and we are all a part of the source energy. So that is our soul. So there's many souls, there's so many souls roaming around, and this is you. All right? And you are having this current life right now. Okay? But as a soul, you have been chosen this life to lead. So say my soul have been chosen to live Dilruba's life, and Dilruba is living her life right now. But my soul, it's absolutely free from Dilruba, because it could be planted as such another human being. It's a boy or something like that. It could be planted as animal. It could be planted as insects. So there is so many possibilities to be planted of my soul. So there is no detachment with the Dilruba vessel right now, because this is just only a choice of my soul to come here. And I'm not going beyond that, because it could be source's choice or it could be something else going on. But for say understanding this part, I can say like this soul, just because it's in Dilruba's body and Dilruba is having her all human experiences, that's why she is having all those experiences that comes in her life. Just a slight differently, if she could just land it in another human being's bodies, her experience would be way changed and way different from Dilruba's life, right? And if I could be just landed in an insect body, I wouldn't be even know or even bothered by any of the experiences of a human could have, right? I would be bothered by my experiences as an insect. How am I going to survive? How am I going to have my home? How am I going to have my water or something like that, right? So your soul is you. It's nothing to do about who you are carrying right now, like which body is carrying, which body is experiencing your life. You are the soul, and there is so many possible ways you could end it up, right? Okay, so let's say about this body, this current life you are having. Okay, so we need to just worry about this life, right? All right, so let's see. Let's say I'm having Dilruba's soul, and my soul is in my body or in my entity. Okay, so if it's in my entity right now, and my entity, my existence have so many things, that is my mind or thought, personality, beliefs, act, habits, behavior, emotions, everything actually defines that entity, right? So this is Dilruba or you. So this soul has this entity, and these things defines that entity. And you know what? Who defines this? All of the external thing you have been having in your life. Society, family, your life experiences, your knowledge, your friend or family, and so many other criterias are just constantly shaping your all existence, which has nothing to do with your soul. And your soul is independent, and it's just a powerhouse, and it doesn't have anything to do with your any entities, because this is completely separate, because your soul just landed into your body. That's because you have all those characteristics, and those characteristics are defined by all of those scripts that has been made for experiencing this human life of yours. So now you know that you are completely detached of any of your experiences, any of your mindset, even though you have ended doing something so bad in your mind and you are so ashamed of your past experiences, or you are ashamed everything of yourself. You are not good enough, you are not beautiful enough, you are not rich enough, or you did something very bad, felonies, or I don't know, like you did something very bad to someone, so you just feel guilt and shame. But those doesn't define you. You are the soul power. So imagine that. This doesn't have anything to do with your own thing. You are the true, authentic powerhouse of yourself. So now, once you understand this, you don't have to worry about anything. You are playing the characteristic right now. You are playing Dilruba's part. Like I'm playing Dilruba's role, who just teach people how to understand the reality, and who is just a lady and has kids, family, and sometimes loses her temper and sometimes she actually being so silly, but it's all in my script. That's why I'm behaving like that. It doesn't matter if I did something so bad. It doesn't define my soul. My soul is absolute. So that's why you don't have to be ashamed of. So now I will talk about the sacred thing, how you can be detached of yourself and you can be so authentic. Whenever you feel like you are very anxious, hesitant to talk about something that makes you feel like nervous or make you feel ashamed of yourself, think about like that. Who did that, or who had that experience in her life, in their life? Is it you, or it's somebody else? It's you inside of somebody else that has been playing a script that been written by all of those external materials, all of those things. So a third person that has been having all those things, and those things were just scripted by all those external materials that has been written for to play that script for the life experience. So if you just start talking by the name of yours, like I will talk by myself, one behavior I am so ashamed of, so having guilt of, that I was about 5 or 6 that time, and I can't even talk about like in a first person. So once I started to talk about that incident as an experience of Dilruba, so now it's far easier for me to tell about that. So Dilruba was 5 or 6 year old, and she killed a bat. Yes, you heard me. She killed a bat just by playing games and stuff. She was with her brothers. They were also like 7, 8, or 9 at that time, and they were trying to just bury alive those bats, and they were just silly. They were just thinking that the bat, if that buried alive, that's gonna be a vampire. But she had just buried alive that bat, that poor bat. And then when she grew up, she understood how wrong it was, and she had been so traumatized and so ashamed of her behavior, and she actually was Dilruba was even so shaken by that crime. She was thinking that she committed the crime to murder a bat. She was just crying and she just apologizing to that bat's soul, to that bat's afterlife. I don't know, like, so she was so much traumatized by that. But it's been so easy to talk about Dilruba's crime, not my crime. See how I committed or how I confront that person's whatever she did, just stating by a third person. Like Dilruba did that. Dilruba had that. She did that. She was this young and she was this old and she had have that experience. Even though you are saying as my experience, if you don't feel that my experience, and if you don't let that feeling come into your mind that you actually did those, it's just a role play for yourself, you will be so much free to talk about things. You don't have to even defend yourself because there's nothing to defend about. This is just a script writing. This is not you. This is what you are scripted for. But once you being aware of that, like you are playing a role, then you can be take aware decisions. You can take more conscious decisions, and that will be coming from your soul most of the time. But since you haven't been aware of that, you are not your body, not your behavior, not your personality, not your actions, not your nothing, then you are just detached from your soul. That's it. And that was just the detachment. And you are still doing if you are still doing the same behavior and habit, just by your personality, know that those are not you. Your soul is absolute, has nothing to be imprinted above from the habit, from any experiences, from any knowledge or anything. It's absolute. It has absolutely every power, and it doesn't have anything to do with your experience. So now you know how to confront of your own shame, guilt, and frustration, and be so authentic to yourself, like, okay, yes, I did that and this happened, but well, it was just an experience of my life, just an experience from my script that my soul wanted to experience, my source wanted to experience through my soul. That's about it. But since now I am aware of that, I'm not my body, not my things, not my thoughts, not my behavior, not my emotions or anything, I will make conscious choices. So there you go. So to recap that, we are not our body, our mind, personality, beliefs, or anything. We are just our soul. And we are having a human experience in this life. And this is just a chosen experience. We could be anything other than human being, then our experience would be different than that. But the soul is you. Thank you, my friend. Just be free, be authentic, be yourself. And please like and share and subscribe if you feel that it has some values and anybody can take a value from this video. All right? Be you.